what's up, you guys? Marty Schwartz here, ready to settle some big debates with one of the greatest musical minds on the internet, myself. Today's debate, Soundgarden versus
AudioSlave.
This is Marty versus Marty. What's up, Marty? Just doing one of my favorite things. Talking to your favorite person? You know it. But do you ever notice how we always get weird looks when we do this in public? Yeah, but they're just jealous of how much fun we're having. I mean, duh. Why didn't I think of that? Let's get to it, Marty. Yes, Brosif. It's hard to talk about grunge without mentioning the name Chris Cornell. You're right about that, Marty. He certainly was a pioneer and wrote some of the greatest tunes of the 90s. He had many successes, but nothing quite lives up to his efforts with the band that made him famous, Soundgarden. Now, hear me out, Marty. Soundgarden is great, but Chris really hit his stride musically when he formed a band with a few members of Rage Against the Machine called AudioSlave. Are you sure your hat isn't on too tight? It kind of sounded like you said AudioSlave is better than Soundgarden, which is straight up poppycock! Soundgarden is arguably the most consistent band from the 90s. They had hit after grunge hit, including Spoon Man, Rusty Cage, and A Black Hole Sun. These are some of the most iconic tunes of the time. AudioSlave was just an experimental supergroup that was only famous because Rage and Soundgarden's previous success. At first glance, it may seem that way, but also because of their previous successes, these musicians had license to take risks that they wouldn't otherwise take, and it obviously worked for them. They produced 3 critically acclaimed albums and have a handful of Grammy nominations. But that doesn't make them a better group by any means. Soundgarden was revolutionary. They had something to say about how we think and the state of the world, packaged in a musical style that matched, if not surpassed, their lyrical ability. AudioSlave was just a dumb, loud rock band. But that's exactly what they set out to do. And if you measure success by a band achieving its goals, AudioSlave more than achieved what they set out to do. Rock people's socks off. And with the power of Cornell's voice and Morello's iconic guitar wobble, they were able to entertain audiences for years. That's not how I measure success at all, Marty. Soundgarden's success was built on pushing the envelope with their music. Their album Super Unknown is one of the greatest grunge albums ever. And to this day, Black Hole Sun is just as synonymous with the style as it was the day of its release. AudioSlave's catalog just doesn't measure up. I disagree, my friend. Songs like Show Me How to Live and I Am the Highway are prime examples of my previous point. They're great songs that are fun, loud, and speak to the band's main objective. And you can't say they didn't have the same success and influence of Soundgarden. Over the course of their career, they sold over 8 million records worldwide and was one of the pioneers of the post-grunge alt-rock era that began in the early 2000s. Look, in my view, Soundgarden was a turning point for grunge. AudioSlave, while playing a role in the post-grunge scene, didn't change the tides in the same way Cornell's original band did. Soundgarden will go down in history with bands like Nirvana and Pearl Jam. AudioSlave will always be Cornell and Morello's other band. The best comparison they may get is to other supergroups. Anyone who's a fan of Rage or Soundgarden will tell you that AudioSlave was a way for these members to sink their teeth into a fresh start and learn from the shortcomings of their previous ventures. This ultimately allowed them to become better than they were before. The AudioSlave records are like an explosion. They're so much fun, and you can tell the band members are having fun too. And not just that, Cornell and the guys from Rage were musically at the top of their game during this time in the span. Regardless, Marty, in 500 years, when our descendants are studying grunge in their courses on classical music and listening to Wild Stallions, Cornell will mostly be associated with Soundgarden, and the fellows from Rage Against the Machine will still be the fellows from Rage Against the Machine, which just proves my point that Soundgarden was the greatest band that Chris Cornell was ever a part of. I have one more point, but it may make you scream again. A black hole sun, won't you come? Ah, you got me there, Marty. Yeah, I really did. Oh, Marty, I can't argue with you for too long. It seems like we'll never settle this. Well, okay, I guess that's true. Should we ask the viewers to continue this debate in the comments? Now that sounds like something we both can get behind. So make sure you head down to the comments section and let us know which band you think is superior. And while you're down there, don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh, dude, this awesome place just opened up that has the best milkshakes. You want to give it a try? I'd love to, but could we each get our own shakes this time? You guzzled it the last time we shared. Yeah, that's totally fine. In fact, they have an anchovy one that I really want to try. Anchovies, that's so gross. Just because you don't like them doesn't mean I can't enjoy them. Thanks for watching. Dude, I can't believe you don't want to try it. They're so salty. It's not a good sell, Marty. Don't you want to try a salty milkshake? 1,000 times no. Just a sip. Definitely not.